Test 1, 2. Let's see if the audio is back. I had to reset my wavelength. Sorry about that. Hopefully you guys can hear me now. And let's get this party started. Mute it, mute it, mute it. We're all practicing our lip reading. Sorry about that. All right, so hopefully we're back. And I guess I got some stuff that cut out of the video on the front side here. But with that being said, let's go ahead, say what's up in the chat. I got Indie Rock Crypto in here. How you doing, brother? Lunar Beaches Crypto with the waves. Let's see those in the chat. Alexandra G's in here. Best mind in the house. Wix White Fine 89. Hello, lady. Eric Ballin Wallin. Who else we got? My man Hart. I got alerts, all kinds of stuff. Bob's in here. How you doing? And rolling, rolling, rolling. Domination 3812. There you go. Clay the Great. Hootie Hoo. He's always throwing that in there. Let's see if I miss anybody. Hopefully not. And it sounds like I hear my man FD in the background. He's getting set up. So we did have a little bit of delay here. He was getting over from a soccer game or practice with his kiddo, but all is looking well. Now, with that being said, intro goes like a little bit like this. We're doing this every Monday through Thursday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And, you know, we're trying to bring you some of the most important market news as well as technical analysis. And we are actually looking to potentially shift this maybe 30 minutes to the left. And that might not work for FD on Mondays, it sounds like. But we do have a vote up. So let us know what you're thinking there. And let me see. Let me see if I can get FD set up here. I see him. I see him. So you guys are going to have to hold on 1 second for me while I get him in some of these windows here. Here we go. Let's go over. I'll just do it. I'll do it as we work to the left. So once I actually get to the window, I'll go ahead and bring them up. Cool. So first one's going to be the duo. Let's bring him up on that. Co-host cam. There we go. There he is. FD. What's going on, my dude? How you doing?
Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, I got you.
Loud and clear, man. Sorry about that, man. My son went over soccer practice. You know, he's getting better, so I didn't want to take him too soon, man. He was getting a little bit of work in after practice, and then we stopped to get something to eat, man. So I said, we got to hurry up. We got to get to the Nightcaps. They said, okay. So we're here, man. We're here.
Well, you can see I did put a little vote up for shifting this 30 minutes to the left. I don't know if that's going to work for you on Monday, so maybe we'll hold off on that.
We'll make it work.
Yeah,
we'll make it work.
Maybe we'll hold off until soccer season's over. So we'll figure that part out. No biggie there, but just wanted to get kind of the pulse of the people. With that being said, yeah, we got a lot of news to talk about. Chair Powell talked today, so he said a couple interesting things, and then we have a looming strike on the East Coast. So with the ports, and that might send ripples logistically kind of through, you know, through the US, honestly, because let's face it, we import a lot. So that being said, I already gave some call outs in the chat here. I'm going to go ahead, get into some of the news. First up, I'll give a little bit of credit here to Crux of Crypto. What is this? Why is that not showing? All right, interesting. Let's go ahead and refresh. All kinds of fun stuff today. We're going to refresh this real quick. Window capture. Boom, there it is. All right, we should be good. All right, so first thing we're going to look at here. Everybody was talking about the potential red September, right? Well, we didn't get that. So next thing we might look at is something that Crux was pointing out here, and I'm sure you're going to hear it on every channel for the next couple weeks. Green Septembers are almost always followed by a green October, not just one, November, not just two, and December. So the next 3 months typically are green following a green September. So could be some bullish news on the landscape here, but again, there are some macroeconomic factors that, you know, we may not have actually experienced before going into Q4 here. But hey, proof is in the pudding for now, right? We have something that is showing us there could be some bullishness ahead. So be prepped for that. Just want to show that to you guys. We'll see how it actually plays out. I don't get too wrapped around these things, but history does have, a penchant to repeat itself. So, all right, over to this. This is insane, according to the Kabisi letter. In a matter of days, China has gone from severe recession worries to posting its biggest daily stock market gain since 2008. If anybody remembers, 2008, 2009, not great times for us. Just want to throw that out there. There has been so much economic stimulus that brokerages are crashing due to high demand. So, think about that, right? When we started pumping money after COVID into the economy, what happened? The markets went up. We saw all-time highs for Bitcoin. It had a huge impact on our markets as a whole based on the stimulus, right? The money that was being injected into the economy. But think about this, we're paying for it now. So, don't think for a second, China was having some really hard times. All right, cool. Their market looks good, but what is this going to do a couple years down the road, right? You're kind of kicking the can down the road, and eventually you got to pay the piper. Maybe they turn to a more U.S. way of doing business, and they just keep throwing money in the economy and just keep kicking it down the road. I mean, that could be a possibility, but just want to point that out to you guys. So over to Fed Chair Powell. All right, Fed sees no hurry to cut rates as confidence in economy grows, Powell says. So a couple things that I highlighted here. One of them being that they're likely going to stick with a 0.25% interest rate cut moving forward because they were in no hurry, right? And it did mention economic growth is looking good and consumer spending is looking good. I would argue that, and I'm not so sure that from the ground level that's necessarily accurate. And my rebuttal there is that I think that most people generally have less money to actually spend. I don't think that consumer spending is up. Personally, the job numbers are not looking very good, right? Those are trending in the wrong direction as well. And they keep doing these revisions, these dramatic revisions, just showing you how skewed the numbers are. So, I do have some concerns there personally. A 0.25 though, if we're talking about another interest rate cut, that does fall in line with like, hey, we're going to rip the Band-Aid off on this 0.5, and then we're going to kind of slow ease it the rest of the way. That fits kind of, Powell's way of doing business, we'll say. But just overall, man, it's like a lot of people are talking about, well, we don't want disinflation and we don't want deflation and all this, bad for the economy, yada, yada, yada. Bro, like, we need a little bit of it. Like, we need housing to be more affordable. We need food to be more affordable. Like, you should not be paying $6 for a box of cereal. Like, the reason cereal was created was to give you a very cheap alternative, to real food, right? A cheap alternative, right? Just to put something in your gut to keep you alive. And there'd be arguments there that it doesn't keep you alive. It makes you sicker. Depends on what's in it, right? So, dude, I don't know, man. I'm feeling irritated, to be honest with you, with the economy and with not necessarily Powell, but just the stance that the government has taken and the way that they're portraying this information to the people. It's starting to bother me, to be honest. And, I'm trying not to get too upset here today. But FD, how you feeling, man? How are you feeling with all this?
First off, with China, man, fiat government, central banks, we're never gonna learn our lesson, man. I literally just went down the Venezuela rabbit hole. Like, I think it was like early 2000s. It might have been a little bit before that. They were like banging. They had like the biggest oil reserves. They had all type of things going on. And then the new guy came in, and then he just jacked it all up. And then we happened to the hyperinflation and all that. Not saying the United States is going to do that, or China. But death by a thousand cuts, man. Death by a thousand cuts. They haven't learned their lesson from 2008, from any time of the where mass stimulus or mass liquidity has been put into the system artificially. They don't let. It's not really a free market anymore. It's not really like they let the economy or things play out. They artificially stimulate, and this is why we're in assets. Like, this is why because we know like all these little small ebbs and flows, man. In the long run, we know what's going to happen. We know this is one of the big reasons why I'm in crypto, why I'm in assets, why I'm pretty much fiat poor, as I like to say. You know what I mean? Because I like to keep my money in assets, and I've been diversifying a little bit more. So one day I won't feel really good. The next day I feel like I'm about to be living on the street. That's how you with crypto. You know what I'm saying? So you got to diversify a little bit more to hold the wealth. But in the long run, when you zoom out, it's up and to the right. And a big factor of that is because of, central banks and governments and all this money printing and inflation. And, it's with China, it is, happening. Their stock market is going up, right now, but we got to see how everything plays out. And I want to see how their real estate market plays out because that's way bigger than, their stock market, I think. So we got to see how their real estate market reacts to this. I haven't really done any, due diligence on the real estate, but
That's been
they have
ugly.
yeah, so they have a lot of
Yeah.
things in the real estate market that has to be, dealt with. And then when it comes to Jerome Powell, he was just, I mean, he can't come and say, because I don't know what he's looking at. Because when I do my due diligence and I peel layers back about the unemployment, about the jobs, about what's going on, like I don't see a good economy. He said the economy is doing good and they're just trying to keep it that way. I'm like, come on, man. He's just trying to talk his book and make sure the things don't collapse. Like, it's a house of cards, really. So they got to talk, they got to say what they want to say, especially right now with the election, right around the corner. So they don't want to, like, just let the whole thing collapse right now. They're going 2025 is going to be a lot of headwinds. Just know that.
Yeah. Nah, dude. I'm on board, man. I think we're singing to the same sheet of music at this point. Piper said, "Hey, if it gets too bad, man, you can move in with him." So there you go. You got friends in
Hey,
low
man.
places. I think is the song there in Texas, right?
Yeah, hey Piper, that's my hero, man. You know
Yeah.
what, man? I done gathered all my stuff. I done gathered all my wallets, my notebooks and stuff. I'm good now. So I'm gonna start scaling out when the market starts to go up. So I learned my lesson last cycle, man. So once we start getting, hopefully, like you said, if we get that green September, hopefully October, November, December, going into the New Year is looks like the gains are, like, I did some due diligence and the gains are very massive if we do have a green September. So hopefully it plays out. And I will be taking profits because I think Q1 is the top.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, I did the math on at least October following a green September. Your average is about 25%. So, matter of fact, let's do some public math here. What's let's see, 25%. What are we at? Like 63 times point two
So I
five.
think, well, yes, I do
That's, I
think
mean, that's another
just my quick
15K,
thesis.
bro.
Yeah, so I do think Q1 we're gonna get like some sort of, maybe not a blow off top, but I think we're gonna top out, and then I think maybe later in the year, late 2025, going into 2026, we might have a super cycle, man. I don't, the way it's so hard to predict, man, because
No,
the
you're coming
numbers
up
are
with some
jaded.
crazy
The
now,
numbers
man.
are,
Uh-oh.
we're gonna save it. We'll save it. Let's get back on track. I will
Oh no,
save it.
I think this is what the people want to hear, man. You know what they want?
This is just yeah, this is just my thesis, man, because I do think we're going to have a nice rally going into the election. Going, they don't want the markets to be crashing with with the election. So I think we're going to have a good rest of the year, maybe early Q1 of 2025. Then I think stuff's going to hit the fan, and then I think we're going to start, maybe our dissension down, and then I think, we'll start to recover and then go back up. But we'll see, man. I'm letting the charts, and I'm taking it day by day. I don't want to predict. I want to just be prepared. So I'm prepared. I lost your volume. I can't. I don't know if volume went out. Well, yeah, that's really just my prediction, man. I have two comments. Go up and read a poem and job info. So let's see what Piper is saying while we get his
I think I'm back.
audio.
Yeah, I'm good.
There you go. Yep, you're back. So Piper sent the $2 super chat. Said I have two comments up. Go read a poem and a job info. Okay, let's see. Q1, baby. 2 dub. Can you move? You can move with me when the recession. I don't see what he's talking about.
It
Okay,
might be further
here
up.
we go. The last revision of job numbers was only covered through March of 2024. Oh wow. So wait until the rest of the revisions come in. So they only all the revisions that they had, I think he's talking about the 800,000. Is he talking about that one? Was only revised up until March. So maybe if you're still in the chat, Piper, let me know if that's the one you're talking about. Because I did read, I think somebody else was talking about that earlier that I was watching the video. But we do know all these, all these numbers are skewed every other month, or every month we get some type of revision. So it's hard to navigate. It's really hard to navigate right now, and that's why I want to see us rally. And then after the election, I'm going to start being a little bit more cautious. So that's really my my strategy. I'm cautious always, but really really cautious after the election, a few months after the election, once the hype dies down. And then they think we got short memories, man. But they think we're dumb. They really think we're dumb. And it's not really a dumb thing. It's really an ignorance thing, because the most people, ignorance is just not knowing. Most people, they just read the headlines, read the numbers. FD, I'm peeling all type of layers back. I'm peeling all type, like an onion. I'm peeling them layers. I'm peeling, I'm peeling, I'm peeling. And sometimes I'm going to cry just like an onion. You know what I mean? Because the numbers are very bad. So sometimes the numbers and everything looks very bad. But like I said, like I always say, we know the end game, we know the outcome. So we just have to keep our eyes on the goal ahead. And that's what I do. And I'll just accumulate, more and more as we, go along. But I am going to take profit. So it's a weird conundrum that you have to go through with crypto. But you just gotta, it's just take a little bit of time and a little bit of experience. And it's really a rinse and repeat game. But that's just really my long-winded thoughts on everything that's going on.
Yeah, man. All good, all good. Hey, I forgot to tell you, man. I added a little audio for you. Remember, I got you on that boop boop, right?
Boop, boop.
Yeah, there it is. So,
I like it.
yeah, I think I'm gonna use it when we hit up resistance, man. I got the
Oh
Mario
yeah.
for when we get bounces, and then
Okay.
I got the boop boop for resistance. So,
Oh
but
yeah, we got some massive resistance. So man, we get to them charts in a minute. We got some resistance coming in for sure.
we did, man. And I pointed that one out on Friday. It was a trend line that I was looking at. I didn't know it was gonna play out. I wasn't like super like, I didn't have a lot of conviction behind it because it was just a random trend line that I had found as I was just doing some work in the background. But dude, it held up as resistance, and then with that, and then some of the data and all the stuff that's kind of going on, I guess that's what drug the price down. Honestly, there it's kind of tough to say really like why. But then we came all the way down to the point of control. So we'll look at that when we get to the charts. We definitely got some interesting things to look at there. Shout out to Biomax. He said he's driving home from the grocery store. Much love, my friend. Hola, my friend. Hope all is well. Love you guys over at BGT. And then what else we got here? Piper just throwing in. He's trying to make us the richest show too on his own channel. He's something.
LBC said he think they can stretch it out a few more years before everything really hits the fan. Yeah, I do too. So I don't think it's gonna be the big one. I think it's gonna be one, but not the big one. Not the big one. Not yet. They're gonna kick the can down the road. We're gonna get some ebbs and flows. Like I said, some big crashes. Or dips, if you want to call them, but I call them crashes. Anything over like 10K to me is like a crash. 10K is like a crash. But I do think, yeah, they're gonna kick the can down the road, and that's where the stimulus is going to come in. But I think they got one more QE in them. I think they got one more QE in them until inflation is just too much to where they can't do it again. I think they do have one more QE in them, and I think that's going to happen sometime in 2025, maybe towards the end of 2025, possibly. But I do think they can kick it down the road just a little bit longer.
Yeah, it'd be really interesting to see, like, let's say Orange Man gets in, like, it would be really interesting to see, like, what pivot they make in terms of how they're going to treat this situation. You know,
It's nothing they can do, man.
yeah, yeah, well,
I looked at everything that they're spending on. So we're the deficit. I think we were getting in like 3 trillion or something, and then we are spending like 5 trillion. But if you start cutting stuff, where's you going? You can't cut the interest. That's why the interest rates have to come down, because the interest is too high right now. They
yeah,
can't cut Social Security. They can't. They're not going to cut government spending. Like, I don't see anything that they will cut,
yeah,
because it's just like they have to be people pleasers, and nobody knows about the national debt outside of people in our space or in the finance world and things like that. People are not
Right.
privy to it. They just see 35 trillion and think like, well, we've been in debt all this time. Like, I don't, they just have so much faith in it. Not saying it's just gonna crumble, but you got to just be positioned, man. I'm really scared for people, man, to be completely honest with you.
Yeah. Nah, I mean, it's valid. We've been talking about it for a while. It's a weird feeling to see the stocks go up and your investments go up, and just knowing that like on the backside there's loom and doom almost. But hey, a couple quick shout outs here. Alex Prolific Crypto, what's up? What's up? How you doing? CVO Crypto's in the house. How you doing, my friend? Thank you for stopping by. And Lasers, I don't know if I gave you a shout out earlier, but what's up, my friend? Hope all is well
We
with
got to
you.
get we got to get CVO on. We got to get CVO on, man. He's
I'm
one of my
game.
favorite guys in TA, man.
Tell him to hit you
Along with
up.
you, like you, yeah. I'm gonna talk to him this evening to see if we can get him on.
Okay, right on, right on. Buck, what's up, dude? It's all right if you're late. You just got to do push ups. You know the drill. So right on. All right. With that being said, you know what's going. We got to sound the siren here. Bring on Elmer Fudd. Let's go. All right, cool. So this one we kind of already made mention of, but the ports, those dudes are about to strike tonight. I think it's going to go at midnight. So understand that we are a huge importer, right? We bring a lot of goods in, and that's going to have an impact on the logistical kind of footprint of the East Coast right now. This is more tailored to the East Coast, but that does trickle over, right? Because what it does, it comes into ports, gets on trailers, trains, and makes its way out to the West as well. Even though we do have ports on the West Coast, there's still things that come into the east side, right? So understand like this could have a trickle down effect in the supply chain. It's just how long do they stay on strike? What they're asking for, from what I'm reading. So I don't know much about it, but they are asking for a significant bump in pay. I want to say like a 77% bump, which that's a lot to ask for. I won't put myself in their shoes and understand their situation, but that's why there's such a big discussion and why it's taken so long, because that's a big pay raise to ask for. So just trying to put some context in and add a little perspective to why these negotiations are actually dragging out. So that being said, just understand like it could get a little bit weird in the supply chain there, especially if this drags out. I think it's going to be kind of delayed. I don't think you're going to get that initial because most of the goods are already in transit or being shipped. But down the line, if we're talking maybe a week or so, I think that you could really see some real impacts to this, starting really on the East Coast. I just wanted to throw that out there. It's nothing like too crazy that's intertwined with crypto all that much, but it is something that does have an impact on our economy. So I did want to throw that out to you guys. And we always need our little FUD story of the day. So FD, what are you thinking about that, man?
Oh man, if this really starts to pick up steam and they're closed down for a long time, or they're gonna use this to their advantage. They're gonna be like, well, inflation is a little bit higher this month, or this is going on because the ports, and they're gonna use it to their advantage, man, guaranteed.
Hell
Like
yeah.
a guarantee. So I hopefully it doesn't go down or go too long. But they want like 77%. I think I saw they want like a promise that they're not going to use automation for like a few years or something like that. But it's like, man, I feel for people. It's going to impact truckers as well. It's going to impact a bunch of other different entities and other different sectors. But the way the world is going, automation, robotics, AI, man, you got 5 years tops for me. That's what I think. I think you got five. I'm making a lot of predictions for somebody who don't make predictions, right? I think you got about 5 years, man. I tweeted this out, or I might have put it on Facebook or something. I said you got 5 years, man. If you're in industries like, I'm really close to the auto industry, like they're moving stuff to Mexico. They're doing jobs that 5 or 10 people could do. They got like 2 robots that can do it now. So if you see Chrysler is laying off, well, Stellantis is laying off. You see GM laying off. You see all type of tech people laying off. Is AI, is robotics, automation. All this stuff is like is right in front of us, man. You got to pivot. You got to pivot. A lot of people are going to have to pivot, man, and they're trying to cut costs, scale, and get people up out of there so they can, the for the bottom line, the shareholders are going to make money. more money because they're going to have less people to pay. And it's just one of them things, man. It's nothing. I don't think it's anything that can stop it. It's just prolonging the inevitable. And it's a sad thing, but it's the new world that we're going towards in the next 5 years for sure.
Right on. Yeah, it looks like CVO said he's down, man. So yeah, hit him up on X. Let's get that party started. All right, let's go ahead and transition over to the market pulse. First thing up we have is the economic calendar. Fed Chair Powell, he talked today. We talked a little bit about that already, but next up is going to be on, it looks like tomorrow, Tuesday, is going to be manufacturing PMI, JOLTS job openings, and then Thursday, October 3rd, you got services PMI, and Friday, October 4th, you got non-farm payrolls, unemployment rate. So tune in to the morning show tomorrow. I'm sure Piper will break that down for you, but just to let you guys know what's coming up on the calendar here, so you can be ready for any volatility that it might create. So let's look at the total market cap. Sitting on coinmarketcap.com here. Total market cap is at 2.23 trillion. That is down 3.59% over the last day. 24-hour trading volume is currently at 83.47 billion, and that is up 63.3%. That is people selling, just so you know. All right. Bitcoin dominance currently sitting at 56.13%. That's a decrease of 0.11% over the day. Bitcoin, Ethereum at 1.2. Bitcoin currently at 63.4, and Ethereum sitting at 2,600. Bitcoin's down 2.98%, and that did go down just under, I think, 63K. And what did it hit? You guessed it, the point of control. We've been talking about that. Ethereum, that is down 1.12%. BNB is at 571, so a pretty big drop off over the last 7 days. That was up over 600. That is down 2.57% over the day. Solana at 154, that is down 2.88% over the last 24 hours. XRP is at 61.97 cents, moving on up, but that is down 4.22%. Had a pretty big jump, I think, this weekend, and then a pretty steep fall off rather quickly. So over the last 7 days, though, it is up 6.37 cents. Congratulations for getting over 60 cents, XRP. You did it. Great job. Dogecoin, it did have a nice little move up, and it had a harsh little fall back. It is down 6.73% at 11 cents now. But over 7 days, looking pretty good, up about 8%. Toncoin is at $5.73. That is down 2%. For 24 hours and up 2% over the last 7 days. Tron is now number 10, overtaking Cardano. Sorry, buddy, you're back out. You're not in the fight anymore. You are at number 11, but Tron is at 15 cents and not much to talk about over 24 hours and up 2.67% over 7 days. Cardano is at 37 cents. That was as high as, I think, 40, maybe just over 40 cents, but is having a nice little pullback over the last 24 hours, and it's at 4.34%. Avalanche at number 12. You guys know I like that one, sitting at $27.97. So not too bad, but it is down 3.22%. Shiba Inu did have a nice little pump over 7 days. That's up 26%. Congratulations there. Chainlink, I know we got some fans of that in here. That is at $11.97. That is one that I think likes to stay in the range quite often. So take a look-see at that on the charts. Piper talks about that one quite often. But that is down 3.5%. And Bitcoin Cash rounding out the top 15 there. And sorry, let me scroll up a little bit for you so you can actually see it. Sorry about that. But there you go. That's the top 15. Over to the crypto bubbles. As you can guess, it's pretty red out there. Bonk is up 6.6% though. So you do have some green on the board. Tau, BitTensor is up 5.1%. Phantom is up 5.9%. Sui is up 4.6%. So this one's been getting a lot of love here recently. Injective is up 2% as well. Everything else looks pretty red, somewhere between 4 and looks about 6 to 7% seems to be the trend in terms of the pullback for a lot of these tokens right now. So big losers, let me see here, nothing too crazy. That's 8% for Axis, 7.5 for Jasmine, Gala. Yeah, so man, dude, I had a lot of things telling me to go ahead and sell some of my long positions that I had on Friday. I held on to it, not too smart, and obviously paying for that a little bit, but is what it is. Liquidation heat map. We're sitting at the looking on the 3-day right now. See high liquidity around 66,750. And then really got another hot spot there at about 66.1, and that makes a lot of sense. It's just over that last rejection that we had there at about 66.5, or not 66.5, but 66,500 to be specific. And now our trend is starting to work down and right. So you can see you got a hot spot, cleared out liquidity, hot spot, cleared out liquidity, cleared it out, cleared it out. Really, what you're going to look for here is to see where it starts getting darker, right? And then that's kind of when you know that those long positions have kind of been beaten into submission, and you'll look for a reversal at that point. I think we're getting close to that. And let's go look at the chart real quick. And ooh, clicking all kinds of craziness here. All right. Well, I don't know why it keeps defaulting to Bitstamp. That is just ultra weird. It's done that to me twice today. Anyways, looking at Bitcoin on the daily, this is the trend line I was talking about. So again, on Friday, during the morning show, we were just kind of going through, and I just kind of went back and I tied this in, and I was like, look at this, man. Besides this outlier here, support, support, resistance, support, support, breakdown, retest, and then ultimately a breakdown, right? So then we got on top of the point of control here, and we were holding support on that, and then we came up and we retested this area, and we got a harsh rejection. And there's a couple things that lines up with, right? We had a horizontal level. There is obviously going to be a little bit of a range there, horizontal level, and then I think this is actually, yeah, this is chart prime. So chart prime, the support and resistance zone indicator, that has a resistance level as well, right? So there was a little bit of confluence up here at these levels. And then if you go down and look at the oscillator, look, you had a hit of bearish divergence, right? Price going up, RSI coming down. You got that. You got two peak seekers. You got a reversal here. So like there was a lot kind of starting to say, hey, like it might be time for this to cool off a little bit. And if you're just purely playing this oscillator over the last like month to 2 months, it has been fire. Like if you look at this oscillator, check this out. Like you get up here, high side, we're getting up in the like 90s, like above, really above 80. Get above 80, and then you get that reversal with a hit of like bearish D, and where you get the peak seeker or reversal. Well, the reversals are coming down a little bit quick. They're coming down a little early, but just if you're just looking at it, right, the major like the troughs and the hills here that we got, like it's been fire. Like when it's time to cool down, it's telling you time to cool down, time for reversal. Price goes up, and what do? We hit resistance. There it is. All right, and then we pull back, and then here you go. When it starts bending over again after a big move up, I mean, like, look, it is riding the price action pretty well on the daily. So keep an eye on that. I did look at this area right here, right? You can see where I have the arrow. I'm going to go ahead and take that arrow off, but I was looking at that on Friday as well. I was like, hey, if we get a pullback, where do I expect a bounce? Well, point of control. All right, the point of control, it was support before it actually made that move up. I'm not surprised to see price action off of that area. And that's what, kind of the title is. Let's see if Bitcoin can hold, because we want to hold this point of control. We hold this point of control, then look, that's still very, very bullish. If you're just looking at it, the price is going up and right. No big deal there. And let's, I drew that one. I didn't actually do a trend line, but you can see it's going up and right. So, it wouldn't be too big a deal to actually just build some pressure going in and trying to retest this area. Obviously, has a lot to do with external factors, but right now it's okay. If we lose this trend line here, which you'll have to adjust it a little bit. I didn't do it too accurate, but if we lose that trend line, then you're talking about coming back down to these areas, and you got a lot of confluence here. And I would be interested in adding to a position. You got the dynamic reactor, you got the value area low, and then you have a lot of volume here with this support level on the indicator here by Chart Prime. So, a lot of confluence in this area, anywhere between like 61.4 and about 60,000. I mean, it's kind of a big range, but you have a lot of confluence. So look for that breakdown. That could be an opportunity there. Even if you lose that trend and you see a retest, you might actually have a quick opportunity for a quick scalp for a short, and then look for a bounce in this area as well. So that's kind of what I'm looking at in a short term, nothing too major on the daily. One thing I do want to take a look at with you guys is I like going to the weekly. Let's go ahead and just bring it up on a different chart here. Let's go to the weekly, turn these to Heikinashi. And I've kind of talked to you guys about this, but you can catch some major moves if you go to the weekly Heikinashi and literally just trade the color flips. Not financial advice. I'm not saying, hey, TradeFly says this is fire, but it does pretty well. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, look, like let's say this close, right? It's still got 5 days, so this is not a close. Let's just be clear about that. But like you got the flip here, and let's just say you got in here, but let's say it closes here. I mean, it's 6% move. Not bad if you're just doing some swing trading. But the thing is, you can really catch big moves. Like these big trends up and right, down and right, really too. Like coming off the high, look at this. And when it came off of that, I mean, you had a really nice move down. So like your losses that you have when it's kind of there's indecision and bouncing around back and forth between colors will be offset by these larger moves. All right, let's say you get into this one late. That's an 18% move. You know, I pointed this out to you guys before, but you know, some people are new here. There you go. That's a 30% move. So this indecision where you get into these kind of these ranges where it's all bouncing around, you still actually win some of these trades, to be perfectly frank. But you know, sometimes you'll have colors that kind of like bounce back and forth quick. Like this is a loss right here, clearly a loss, but then offset by a massive win, 54%. So like it's a strategy for sure, a very simple, easy strategy. And you know, Bitcoin is volatile, right? You don't have there's not too many times where it gets in this like these massive ranges. Like it's look at it. If you want to go back the last 4 years, you get in these big swings, right? There's not too many times where it's ranging, and even where it looks small, like from here to here, it's not. Like that's even a big win too. So just point that out to you guys. Something very simple for you to look at. Shout out to Alex O Crypto. He said, "Get these guys paid at Nightcap." Hold up. Let me call out all the other otters. BRB. Dude, we love you, man. Thank you so much. Otter Alex, you are family. Thanks. We really appreciate it. So, and it looks like he's bringing in the gang here. So awesome, dude. Appreciate it. I'm gonna pass it over to FD. Let him take a hack at some of this. Man, I didn't switch. I'm still on Market Pulse. Let me. There we go. Over to the technicals. But let me get your screen pulled up here. Give me 1 second because
I just got a quick little analysis of what I'm looking at for a nice trade, man. It's just a couple levels that I'm looking at. Definitely want to reclaim this 200.
Give me 1 second.
SMA.
Pull up your chart here. Wasn't able to do it because you logged in after I'd started. There you go. You're up, man. Let's do this.
Cool, man. So we was in this channel with the channel that we've been talking about for like the past few weeks over here. So we started in Friday, like I said, September 6th. We just been coming down, respecting it, coming up, respecting the top, respecting the bottom, respecting the top. So higher highs, higher lows. And then we broke it. So what I'm looking at now, we did come up and reclaim that 200-day SMA. This is what Piper was talking about adamantly over the past week or so. Now we're back below it. So what I want to see, I want to reclaim that. That's number one. But what I really want to see for my next Bitcoin trade, I really wanted to come down. Looks like we might be starting to bottom out. We'll pull up some oscillators in a second, but I wanted to come down to this green area, this green bar here at about 62.5 to 62.4. We had a lot of activity over here in the past. We had it back here all the way, from the middle of September. We had some over here, the middle of or the end of August. We had some here at the beginning of August. We had some here July. We had some here at the beginning of July. So this has been a very active level that I've been looking at. So I wanted to see us come down a little bit more, but it seemed like we haven't touched down there. So I'm gonna be a little bit patient to see if we come down a little bit more. I don't want to enter this long right now, even though it does seem like we may be starting to bottom out. I'm going to give it a little bit more time. So what I want to do is I want to see us maybe come down here. Let me get my drawing tool. Potentially form some type of double bottom down here to make our way back up to the 200. Hopefully flip the 200 and see if we can see how we react here at about 64,600, 64,700, because this is where we double top that back here. Then we came back above here. We can call this basically a deviation since we didn't hold it. Come back here, we got all this activity back here. the end of August, all this activity over here. So I'm just basically looking at areas, looking at ranges, and looking at, support and resistance. Because that's in crypto. This is what I really noticed, man. And I was shout out to Trader Main, man. He was talking, and he was just saying, man, crypto traders, like a lot of crypto traders are not really like super advanced traders. Like, so it's not like Forex, it's not like, all these different, we do have algorithms over, in crypto, but it's not like super, like the stock market. In crypto, a lot of people are use basic TA, and they use basic things when they are trading. That's why the swings are so good. Like, that's why somebody can come in with a lot of money or entities and manipulate it, because a lot of people are just using basic strategies to trade with. So I do use basic strategies because a lot of times they do work, because that's what most people in crypto, like, you don't really come across people who are using like massive, like all type of crazy strategies in crypto. A lot of people, like if you look at the TA, a lot of big guys who do TA, a lot of big influence, they're using like patterns, they're using support and resistance, they're using trend lines and things like that. So I do use it, and it does work, but risk management is the key. So right now, I say all that to say this: the levels that I'm looking at is just really simple. And if my plan of action doesn't work out, then I'll just exit the trade. So what I'm looking at is to come down a little bit more, maybe to about 60, 62.5, 62.6. See how we react to this level. If we start to close above here and open some short term time frame candles and start to move our way back up, I'll go long, and then we'll see how we react to the 200. We'll probably take some off the table to see if we can flip that 200 back up, and then we'll go to the level 64.7, 64.800, where we have all the activity back here. And then if we can flip that, that's when everybody will start getting back bullish again. So that's really what we need to see. And I don't even really have to trade, because I did pretty good these last couple of weeks. Because when the market gets to moving, it's easier to trade. It's easier to make money. So when those market environments present themselves, I'm going to take full advantage. So now when I think we're in no man's land, I can just sit back and chill. So now what I really want to see, I may open a long down here if we come down here, but if we come back up here and flip this back into support, then I'll be, more inclined to go long to see our way back up to that 67K area. And if we can break the 67K area, then we're going back to all-time highs. So it's really just that simple. Then you can bring in, your oscillators and things like that, to see what's going on. We do have money flow starting to curve up on the 4 hour. We are seeming like we are starting to curve up on the momentum wave. So on the hourly, that's on the 4 hour. So on the hourly, same thing. Seems like we were coming down. Our side looks like it was going up. So some sort of bullish divergence on the 1 hour. So like when I see things like that on smaller time frames, divergences, on the 15, on the hour, that starts to tell me that we may potentially be bottoming, and then I'll just have to look for my next move. So it's really just that simple for me for trading crypto and from looking at the overall chart. But I didn't really get excited. I'm not getting excited till we break 72, 73K, hold that as support and start to move higher. Other than that, all this other stuff is just noise and stuff for us to get excited about for the next 3 or 4 days. But until we break that all-time high and hold that as support, the market is not really going to do anything. Alts have been performing fairly well these past couple of weeks, but we haven't seen anything yet until Bitcoin breaks that all-time high, 78, 80K. Once we start getting up there and start consolidating and then letting alts run, you're going to see some fireworks. This was nothing. These little 20, some coins went up like 40%, but you're going to see like 100, 200%, things like that. So that's what I'm waiting on. And that's when it gets easy. It gets really, I'm telling you, it gets simple to like break of resistance, retest, gone. Like it's really that simple once the market turns full bull. So if you want to sit on your hands right now and just try to accumulate some dry powder to trade with once the market turns full bull, I'm trying to tell you, like last week, like PopCat, I was good off PopCat. So I did lose some money holding over the weekend. So because the market did turn around, I thought we were gonna, continue our ascension a little bit higher, but I did get stopped out. I think I'm in 2 trades still, and they're teetering on the brink of profit or stopping out in, break even. So I'm just gonna see what the market does this week, which we have a lot of catalysts. So we'll see. That was a little long winded, but it's just,
It's all good, man.
it's just sometimes it's just, it's we overcomplicate it sometimes. It is a lot of different strategies to use, But I'm telling you, if you don't want to trade in this environment, just when it's full bull, it's just a million times easier. A million times easier. So
Yeah,
when
it
it is
always.
full bull, that's when I really go heavy. So when there's no man's land for me, I can just sit back, chill, analyze the market, and come talk about it. But when it's full bull, like I said, oh man, I'm all in.
Yeah, nah, I get it. I get it. Caffeinated Crypto gifting a one Piper Academy membership. Thank you very, very much. That went to Laser. So congratulations, man. If you're not in the Discord, come on over, man. There's some perks. That being said, let's go ahead and get back to the chart here. We got Soul up, and I got a new little audio clip for you. So let's go ahead and play that. If anyone remembers that song, that is a throwback there. So I see FD. He's smirking right now, so he must remember that one. Uh, all right, so you can see, man, it's been a pretty gnarly range for Soul here, just kind of poking back and forth. You got a couple times where you get out of it a little bit, but really the line here, I mean, at about 162 all the way down to about 121. I mean, we were talking about it, man. We were talking about it. 162 was a high side target for us down here, right? When we came down here, you can see it. I was at the airport and I was talking about, I think we're going to find support here, value area low. We also had this horizontal level of support here at about 121. You didn't see a wick underneath of that. Well, not that it didn't went underneath of it, but you can see the wicks were coming down and touching it, right? So you can see how many times we've actually interacted with it as support. So we can count the pumpkins here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and an airplane, man. 6 pumpkins and an airplane, baby. That must mean liftoff. So here we are, right? So got up through the dynamic reactor, hit our smart target, 200 SMA, all that fun stuff that should have been resistance, point of control. Had a heavy resistance here, but it flipped it, right? It flipped what was resistance into support. That was your signal. That's why I said, hey, we get the OC retest, which we saw, went up, broke, came back down, retest here, and then off to the races to 162. So I will be transparent, and I would say if we took that trade, if you were to take this trade, I would have been out at the 200 SMA, right? So even though we're saying high side target 162, from here to here was the call, about 7%. But you know that's because you got to be conservative, right? I don't like to give you any craziness looking for a rejection there, which it did initially get. Got initial rejection and then it pushed through, came up, tested that 162 area, but now we're coming back down, right? So now we're kind of at a kind of point of confliction here, right? We got the 200 SMA, and it's on the bottom side of it. So are we getting an actual retest of the 200 SMA, and now are we looking at some potential downside movement? The daily kind of screams yes. All right. So looking at that, you get a hit of bearish divergence. You now have the RSI trending down and right, peak seeker, yada yada. Everything's lining up to say that it's looking for a little bit of a pullback. And so I wouldn't be surprised to see it come down and revisit these areas. Not saying I'm a wizard and I know where it's going to go. What do we do though? We just be prepared for it to go one way or another. So right now, a couple things you could look at. If you miss this move, then you start looking at the point of control, right? You're getting confluence between the moving averages, the dynamic reactor, all in one area. That is confluence, baby. So you're looking for this area here for a little bit of bounce. You're looking for a price action, movements, maybe some upside movement off of these areas. So that would be support. And you get what? Boing, the bounce. All right, so here we go. About 146. That's probably where I would be looking for some price action for it to start making a move, back up if it does come down. And then, high side 162. If you're looking at that, if we come back up and we revisit that area, then you're starting to look at this RSI. Is it continuing to trend down? If you come up and you retest that with a trend down, again, that's going to show you weakness going into that move. You'd be looking for a possible rejection. So that's kind of, some short-term things that I'm looking at. If we're looking at long-term, right, where would I add to bags of Soul? Where did I add add money to bags of Soul or add to my bags of Soul? We'll get this out. We'll figure this out here. Where would I be looking? Down here, 125, 126 in that area. If it does come back down to that area, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and add to Soul again. That's just what I'm doing. I find these key levels that I think are significant. And when you get, what did I say, 6 pumpkins in an airplane, that's significant to me. So maybe we'll add another pumpkin and we get 7 pumpkins. And I'm just going to keep adding my bags every time we go down there until, it proves me wrong. So that being said, that is what I'm looking at on Soul. FD, you got anything else you want to look at?
No, not necessarily, man. But really, I just wanted to, like, with trading, I was looking at looking in the comments with trading, man, like it's really like a fight. Like a lot of people, like they like if we come with some type of analysis and it doesn't play out, it's really you're supposed to have multiple scenarios that can happen. It's like a fight. Like okay, if he jabs, I'll do this. If it's an uppercut, I'll do this. If it's a roundhouse, I'll do that. So I'm for any scenario, whichever scenario that plays out is how I will react. So that's how I just that's how I approach trade, man. I have my my the most probable scenario, with the market conditions, and then if it doesn't go that way, then I'm fluid and I can move. And then if I don't, if it's not a fight that I don't think I can win, I'll sit. I won't fight. Just basically like that. So I just try to take the best possible trades. I don't try to get up and trade every day, but if I do get on the charts and I analyze and I look for good setups. I look for my setups, and if I don't see my setups, then I won't take it. But we can analyze the charts all day, because it's always a trade. But if it's not my trade, the trades that I like to take, it's just I won't take it. So it's just a repetition thing, and I just try to not lose money, man. That's the man. That's the
Rule
main
number
thing.
one,
Like I
man,
don't try to
protect your
knock.
money.
Yeah, I don't try to hit home runs. Like I try to hit home runs all last cycle and all bear market, and that really taught me, to just take them base hits first to second,
That's
second to
it.
third home run. You know what I mean? And just take a little bit at a time, compound, compound gains, compound profits, and then go from there. And you will hit a home run by mistake. Sometimes you swing and you might stop your swing in the middle of the swing, but the wind conditions are right, everything is right, and it'll still take you to a home run. So just sometimes you get in trades like that, and over time, the more trades you take, sometimes you do hit those home runs that you're not even expecting. But it's just a matter of not losing money, man.
Yeah, nah, I feel you. I feel you, man. That's why I mostly do swing trading, and I'm really really big on letting the price action come to me, and I've talked about that before.
Yeah.
I don't try to get too aggressive and like find these little moves or like hey like speculative kind of plays on the charts. I'm not a great scalper. I'll be very transparent with that. um Somehow I won trading wars, but to be honest I was learning a lot of it on the fly. And what I was doing was kind of like pre-gaming it, right? I was like, okay, where are very
Mhm.
key levels of support and resistance, and I was finding that on the 4 hour, the hour, the 15 minutes, kind of working its way down. So that was kind of how I was approaching that. But to be honest, like I'm not very confident in that style of trading. Like I prefer to get into these swing trades, and if you only win a couple of the trades out of three, four, five, it's okay, because a lot of times with the swing trades, your percentage gains, especially if like you said, if you practice appropriate risk management, then those gains will far outweigh your losses, especially if you're using a stop loss that's rather tight, or, a lot of times, it's not a lot of times, sometimes you will get stopped out, like, and the trade actually ultimately wins, which is frustrating, but you can always get back in. Like, if it does regain that level, but you got to be kind of glued to the charts. Like, you got to be kind of ready for that. It's kind of alerts on top of alerts. Do you have that time? So that's kind of where I've kind of pivoted personally, where it's more of a DCA strategy, but it's a DCA strategy kind of overlaid with swing trading, in terms of like, all right, I'm DCAing in at the levels I want. And then when we get these nice movements to the upside, like we had right now for Bitcoin and some of the alts all followed, it's like, okay, now is the time to start taking some profits, because, I've done well with those swing trades. And that's kind of like the big thing is, just, again, protect your money, and you'll never lose taking profits. And that's, I tell people all the time, they're like, oh, you're making a ton of money. Nah, I'm not. Like, full transparency, like maybe 10K a year, like maybe 12 at times. Like, but the thing is, like, it's extra money that I am making. And so like that's a win for me. And really when it comes down to it, that's beating the market in terms of like most people, that are actively trading. Like, most people lose, to be fully transparent. Like the investors, the one that DCA in, those ones usually win. And that's kind of why I've pivoted a little bit to that style of strategy, because the proof is in the pudding, man. The facts are there. Like DCA, it does work. It's just the ones that you ride down to zero are the ones that kick your ass. And that's why I kind of stay a little bit more clear of a lot of the alts. I don't DCA into those as much. Those ones I'll be more active on the trading. So But I
So
don't
yeah,
know
like before,
how
yeah,
I strayed so far off left there. But what's up? What do you
yeah.
got,
But
man?
before we get out of here, man, I do want to say, like, when it comes to all, I've changed my title. I'm, when it comes to investing, I'm a Bitcoin investor. That's the only thing I'm investing in crypto. Everything else I'm trading. Now these may be long swing trades, but I don't foresee myself holding these like very long time. So if I buy a coin, let's say I bought a coin today and I sell it in 6 months, that's really like I don't know if that's investing or if that's a swing trade, but I have the foresight or the I'm gonna sell it. That's what I'm saying. I have a number in my head where I'm gonna sell. With Bitcoin, I don't have a number where I'm gonna sell. I'm just gonna keep investing into it. I'm gonna keep investing into it. So when it comes to Bitcoin, I'm investing in Bitcoin. All the maybe Ethereum, because Ethereum is my biggest bag. So I gotta say I'm an Ethereum investor now. But everything else, I'm just trading it. But it might be long trades, it might be months, but I think I'm still trading it because I'm buying it with with the notion I'm going to sell it at a certain price point or a certain time. But Bitcoin, I don't have like a time horizon. I'm just stacking and stacking and stacking.
Right on, right on. All right, fam. I think we're about to wrap it up here. Thank you so much for tuning in today. We truly, truly appreciate it. Chat is popping as always. Looks like Alexo and Piper are going to be having an IFC match here soon. So I'll be
We got
looking
to get
forward to
them
that.
on. We got to get them on. What? What? How do you get on these fights, these crypto fights? I don't
The
think if I got
IFC.
into a crypto fight, I don't think it'll be fair, man.
I mean, you could. I mean, the dude that runs it, like, I think he's kind of the lead dog on it. Is George? Cryptos are us. I think he's kind of top dog on that.
Oh
I think you
yeah.
could work through some people though. I think Keeper has some connects. I you might
I
even
don't
work
want to
through
beat
a.
you up, man.
Well, I
I'm
mean, you brought it up. I'm just trying to trying to
no,
give you the alpha, man.
I just be trying to figure out how these guys be, linking up and putting these fights and stuff together. I never really did my, due diligence on it. I just happen to hear it every
I
few months about,
Yeah, I think they reached out to Jenna. I was trying to fight Ben. I was
Oh man.
I was trying to get his attention for like a few weeks, maybe a month. Didn't work. He paid me no mind. Didn't even read my message. And I was trying to be cool about it too. I was like, hey man, no shade, like no hate, just trying to get on a match with you, man. So got respect for you getting in the ring. And yeah, he didn't even respond to me. So I tried. But I was hitting him up, dude. We were flooding some chats. There was a couple that got like probably like 10K views. But it
Oh
didn't get
wow.
him, it didn't get him to bite at all. So I tried. Is what it is. But yeah, with that, we're gonna get out of here, man. Held you guys long enough. Hope you guys enjoyed the show tonight. I know I did. Always, like you say, like when you're walking away from the show here and you're smiling, you know it's a good night, right? So hope everyone has a good night. Trade safe, and we will see you guys tomorrow. Same time, same place. We'll talk more. Actually, dang, y'all got 30 votes on here. Let me take a quick look at that. That is tight. We're at 55-45 right now. 31 votes. And I think one person voted like 4 times. I'm not going to lie. All right. All right. Noted. Dang. All right. Fair enough. All right. We're going to get out of here. FD, you got anything for the people on the way out? You're muted.
Oh, I'm unmuted. Yep.
All
Just be
good.
cautious this week. A lot of headwinds, a lot of data coming out. We just got to get past this week, and we'll see where the markets are gonna go. Hopefully, it's October.
Oh, yeah, dude. Pumptober, baby. Oh, I got a new song for that too. You ready for this? The Black Eyed Peas, baby. So everyone's got the other song. So I was like, hey, let's change it up. Let's do something different. So there you go. What else? I'm on my little audio tip. Did you hear the Undertaker one yet? Yeah.
Oh,
So,
you went. You got a lot now.
oh yeah, I changed all kinds of things up, man. But yeah, all right, we're out of here for real, for real.
All right.
You guys have a good one. Later.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yeah, go, go, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. You got a mind, but